Now, what's happening in there, because it looks like it's accelerating very, very quickly?
Sure is. Max Afterburner has been selected here for TOBY. We've got 36,000 pounds of thrust. It's going to get his gear up, flaps up, and do a low transition here, and then set himself up for a high-speed pass.
Generating a boatload of thrust.
Yeah, they are.
How much? Pardon me. There's the 36, and that's what gets it going. Now, we'll be able to see some of that maximum thrust when we look up the tailpipe and we see a little orange glow. That means the afterburners are on.
Oh, yeah.
Raw jet fuel being poured into the exhaust. Quite a kick in the pants, isn't it?
Sure is.
From the right, the Gladiators A-18C model Legacy Hornet, been around since about 1979. About 7,000 or 8,000 feet there?
Yeah, about 12,000 feet there.
He got to 12,000?
Sure did.
In a matter of just a few seconds?
Absolutely.
That's amazing performance. What's coming up next?
Coming next, he's going to go into recovery here in what we call the vertical reversal. He's going to set himself up for the double Immelman.
The double Immelman. That's a World War I defensive maneuver that developed by German ace Max Immelman back 1914 to 1918. Half a roll, half a
One more time, and you're going to find that it's going to get up to about 14,000 feet.
What's amazing to me as I think about this, Goat, is that the FA-18 almost didn't happen, because back in the early mid-1970s, the Air Force was looking for a new lightweight fighter, and there were two competitors. The winner was the F-16 Fighting Falcon. The loser was the Northrop YF-17, but the Navy needed a new fighter, and they saw something about that YF-17, two engines, that appealed to the Navy a lot. You like two engines, don't you?
I do like two engines.
And why?
Because if you lose one, you still got one more.
and that's pretty important when you're out there doing full water operations where there's no divert field to land. You either get to the boat or you don't.
Absolutely.
Coming up next is
Mid-radius stern.
How many G's will he be sustaining right here? 7.5 times the force of gravity, forcing him into the sea. Now, if you're not prepared for that, you'll lose confidence. How does he prevent that from happening?
He does what we call a hip maneuver, so he basically puts a lot of pressure in his lungs and then contracts his lower body.
And the hip maneuver sounds a little weird, but you do it, right? It's contract all those muscles, the lower part of your body, and you go,
Better than I can do there, Rob.
I still passed out when I did it. My body was not prepared for it. You guys have to work out all the time, right?
We do. That's extremely important, is having a good workout regimen in order to maintain that muscle mass to be able to do that.
Now he's slowing down a little bit. What's coming up next, Goat?
Now we're going to see him, he's going to get into the carrier confident configuration. So you're going to see him gear down with his hook, and basically going to demonstrate what we're looking at when we're coming to the boat.
down, and the tail hook. I am amazed that tail hook that probably isn't more than 3.5 or 4 inches in diameter can actually stop a 35,000-pound airplane at a couple of hundred feet.
You and me both.
A lot of trust in that hook,
A lot
right?
of trust.
Pretty soon it's called Aerobatic. How are you going to power out of this?
From here, he's got full max afterburner selection. He's going to go ahead and start a nice climb there. He's going to execute some more Cuban aids. So he's going to go ahead and do some moves around here. Show center and then execute a control rate around 1,200 feet.
The half Cuban 8 maneuver dates back to 1936, but it is a staple of aerobatic and even military flying. Look carefully, you can see that glow in the tailpipe. That's raw jet fuel being poured into the exhaust. Now, normally, how long, if you have a full tank, all your tanks full, without using afterburner, how long can you stay aloft? Approximately.
It depends on the configuration, Rob. If we have external tanks on, we can stay up for hours upon hours there. And then our ability to in-flight refuel makes us even more lethal there to be able to stay airborne and support the troops on the ground.
Got it. Now, if you stay in full burner, you're using up fuel at an inordinate rate.
Sure are. Probably about 12,000 pounds per hour.
Wow. So you burn out in less than 15 minutes.
Pretty close.
Pretty close. All right. From the right, pitch rate.
Pitch rate demo.
You're not actually controlling your stick movements, and rudder pedal movements aren't really controlling the control surfaces directly, are they?
No, I'd like to think so, but the computer itself actually is much smarter than I am, so I tell it what I would like to do, and then it does what it wants to do, which is hopefully what I want to do.
So, and it'll protect you in some instances, right? If you pull too hard, it'll keep the airplane from stressing itself badly?
Yep, depending on the weight of the aircraft, we have what's called a G limiter, so if you give it, or you pull back, ask them or her what you want, and then it gives you what it's capable of at gross weight there.
Now coming in very, very slowly, he's coming off the throttle, pulling back on the stick, and now getting onto the throttle for what is called the high alpha pass, or high angle of attack pass. What is happening is the angle of attack is the number of degrees either above or below the relative wind, in this case the horizon, that the aircraft nose is pitched. And the Hornet has some great slow speed handling capabilities.
Yeah, it sure does. It's what makes us one of the more, when you think about fighting adversaries there, our ability to slow down here, what you're seeing is maintain about 25 degrees angle of attack. That capability is just slow
That's pretty amazing because he's weighing in over 35,000 pounds, isn't he?
Sure is.
Going at 100 miles an hour there?
Right about 100 miles an hour.
And which is probably a tenth of his top speed. Yeah, you can't tell me exactly that, can you?
No.
It's classified, he can tell me, but he'd have to kill me. Did that line originate in the movie Top Gun?
I think it did.
for, I think, what is going to be the carrier brake?
It will.
400 how many knots?
450 knots here.
That's 525 miles an hour.
Well, coming around quickly gets them aboard faster, so. But what it also does is give you the capability of being consistent there to set yourself up to land on the boat appropriately and under control.
Now, if you've got a lot of airplanes to recover at one time, how fast can you recover? How many airplanes in a 10-minute period can you recover? Do you know?
They shoot for about one every 55 seconds or so. That's a pretty good number right there.
So basically, one a minute you can land.
Yeah.
That must take an unbelievable amount of coordination on the deck.
It really is. It's an art, and until you actually see it, you really can't understand the amount of effort that it takes to get aircraft off and on the aircraft carrier there.
Now he's coming down. He's got his nose up. Unlike civilian aircraft, you don't flare a Hornet, do you?
No, we'd like to think it's a controlled crash there. So.
I'm interested in what happened there. Once he touched down, he really banged the airplane. Was that a demonstration?
Demonstrating at the road, if you miss all the wires there, or 3 wires depending on the aircraft you're going to, if you do miss it, that's called a bolter. From there, he selects max afterburner, he just flies away from the ship. He set himself up for another opportunity.
So the idea of the bolter is the minute you touch down, the throttles come forward.
Absolutely.
What happens if you catch a wire?
Doesn't matter. Power comes forward, and then once you feel the aircraft stop within about 2 seconds or so, now you come back on the throttles there. But what it allows you is if you do miss it, now you've got the power under the jet there to get yourself back here.
So that's protection. All right. Here's the photo pack. Now we see some great vapors as he's pulling up there. That's all that aerodynamic pressure. We've seen sometimes pictures of a cone of moisture around the fuselage of a Hornet. Sometimes on Facebook you see and it says, hey, he's going supersonic. Not quite, right?
No, not unless we're making a mistake there. Every maneuver you're seeing here should be subsonic. Just as we talked earlier about the compression there, he's fast and he's got a lot of G on the aircraft, and that's what's creating the cone that you're seeing there.
So it's a spectacular sight, but not necessarily supersonic.
Correct.
If it moves off the back, does that mean he's going supersonic?
Yes.
I got a straight answer. Thank you very much. Because I wondered about that, because I've seen so many of those pictures. But supersonic around here would be damaging in a lot of ways, wouldn't it?
Potentially.
Damaging to windows, car alarms, the dogs would start screaming and yapping, and we'd all be afraid.
And for ears.
And ears would be hurt a lot, and maybe a pilot's career might be get a pretty good slap on the wrist, right?
He doesn't want to do it.
No, he doesn't want to. All right, the controlled crash you talked about. What kind of descent rate is that?
Roughly about 700 feet per minute.
All right, 700 feet per minute. I fly a Cessna 182 that typically climbs at about 500 feet per minute, and I descend at 500 feet per minute. I don't think I would want to slam down on the deck on a runway in a Cessna 182, but the landing gear is pretty beefed up on the Hornet, isn't it?
It is.
But you feel it every time, big time in your back, right?
You feel it a little bit, yeah.
Is it the shock absorbers there that help take care of that?
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, Goat, thank you very much for demonstrating the FA-18 Legacy Hornet with the F404 engines in it. Ladies and gentlemen, a nice round of applause for Joe Krukar, call sign Goat, and the FA-18 Super Hornet. Thanks, partner.
Thanks, Rob.
We'll see you later. Good to be here with you at Oceana.
Sure is.
Thanks. Well, ladies and gentlemen, coming up in just a moment, we've got more for you.